Say good evening to everybody. We are saying that in order to receive a teaching from the Dorje Tsemo, like Rinpoche, I'm not going through that whole quotation. So, what's it? From the very beginning, where you're going to start, then in order to receive the teaching, at that time, first main thing is you need to look into yourself, means look into your mind, and then stabilize that mind, and then you receive, listen or hear the teaching.
Dharma som de kong lu so Dharma som do de yowa sin ki Dharma nu ki mi Dharma yo hwa Dharma so ti Dharma som kong nan du Dharma yowa sin ki Dharma do de ge za thap de sin ba yowa sin ki Dharma de Dharma ho ra yu do de temone do long de 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 la da ngang ge lo ma da ba to pa Dharma tham ki de da ngang so la yu yin ba de wa sin ki yin ni zong de nam bo Dharma da ge me ge lo ma tin ge to pa de no te tham ki tha be bang ne ta ngang ge tam pa song ti sin tang po ge ta thap ye sin ba jo sin ti tam ba do te hu go ko yu ri he hu go ta ta ho rang ge ting ha ngang ge nam to ngin phan da ma da yi mi ting de than na ta ho pha ya ne ko lu nga yi song ka te ta ho so chu so la ta ho lo to ta si ti to pa ngin pha bang go song le
jo sin ki tam ba
jo sin ti tam ba ge ta thap ye sin ba jo sin ti tam ba sa ge ba la ge ta ge thap ye sin
Then we make pa me pa
yo hwa tam ba ti tam ba som te dong ha kang lam nyam su la na ti tam ba som khong na ma di pa yo ma is
in order to again to receive the Dharma teaching or to hear the Dharma teaching, first we need to Tampasum. Tampasum is like a three principal quality you need to develop. First one is Jorwa Semke, is like the bodhicitta, altruistic enlightened mind. The first. And then second one is the visualizations. Mikpa So the second one, visualize without the visualizations. You need to focus into the point. And the third is the dedication. So whatever merit you accumulating or you accumulated so far, you dedicating to the welfare of the all sentient beings. Make sense? Please, if it doesn't make sense, please raise your hand and I will try to correct that.
Tang ho ge ta thap je sin do te rang ke chu ge ba drop sam je sam ba de ta nga ke kandar ke sam da sang te ta am ka de na ta nge rang so ta ha thik pa chin po ke chu do ko yu ri he ke khala che pa dan pha pa ni sang ha do je the pa ka ta chu bo le ko te pa yen du he ke thik pa chin pi sam za re ta sang thong ko yu ri so thik pa chin pi sam za te ga re ri sin sin ki tham che ma nam kha ta nyam pe sin ki tham che ke to do nge chu yang ta pa che do go ko no sam ki sam ba ta lo che thok ko yu ri.
So I forgot one also that whether you like say I'm a tantric practitioner, I'm a sutric practitioner, but you have to have these three quality no matter what you're practicing, or your primary practice or your principal practices. So then you need to catch that, or you need to hold that. Getsa thap. It's the getsa is the root of the merit. You need to hold that, or you need to grab that with the skillful mean. Tap is a skillful mean. So you need to hold it. Means, in other words, so what he's saying is, you need to use the skillful mean or skillful method. So not just, what's saying, what it is real, so you need to understand it thoroughly, what is the root cause of the merit, the accumulation of the merit. So then we consider ourselves as a Mahayana practitioners, the greater vehicle, the practitioner or the followers. So then this tanda tikwa chambu ge jerin chik song tiwa la chik song
te getar tabi sin tu te ta samba ja kyo manam kha da nya de senjin tamche ke tong dong ye ge ba du te ti tong de yin samba long na ti te pa chim chun ro ko yori.
So if then ones who grabs into that all the merit I accumulated, whether I accumulating or so far I accumulated, I'm going to dedicate all the merit to the cause of all sentient beings' benefit. So you have a Samba Gyatchembo. It's like a great thought. Your thought is not limited. So vast, for when we say all sentient beings, all mother sentient beings, then you including everybody.
Tendari on Crowe, Tendari in the Tilla, Tachu could give out a young dog and daughter. Garci, Tendari, two Samba Timbo, in Sinkin Tanches Arma, Hipaina, give out a two get a tap the Mazina, give out Antana take, give out Timbo, should get out tap the Mazina, take give out take by Timbu Mandova. There are no Ezekiel Sona, that give out Timbo, Tantan give out, don't give a young Bandoma, in Bali by Uncle Yuri.
So, again, we need to use. The tool is the skillful method or the skillful mean. That with that tool you need to understand, you need to analyze, you need to recognize the the root cause of the virtue or the root cause of merit. So if you have that quality or you develop that quality within yourself, then even you accumulated a tiny bit merit, you accumulated, that merit is going to be a double, triple, because you have that skillful method. And then you dedicating that merit to the sake of all mother sentient beings, not for your loved one or your relative or your friends or your community or your race or so and so, So it's, when we say all mother sentient beings, then there's no enemy, there's no relative, there's no loved one. It's each and every like an unconditional love type.
Manam Katanya, the Senti Tanki, San Gopati, Guba, Jumchi, Mambori, here you would start to know, do such a the Hong Kong Bata, but Jewish body, see, no me, that will give me meat and bar, said Jotilla. You give me meat, Dodite, Ravinata, Uma Chimbo, Saja Chimbo, Zoba Chimbo, Titawa to talk to Jotilla, will give me meat and bar, said.
The second quality, this one is the how to develop that altruistic enlightened mind or the bodhicitta, you can say. The first one. The second one is no visualizations. So, without the Mipa Magomba. So anyway, so without the visualization, literally I'm translating that, another word what Rinpoche is saying that, not having any afflictive emotions or conceptual thought or diluted thoughts. So not having that at all whatsoever. So based on then, you have the realization of a great seal of emptiness, Dzogpa Chenpo Dzogchen, or Mahamudra realizations, or Madhyamika. So, these are higher advanced study and teaching. So you have, knowledge of that, or you can say you well knowledge of that, those teaching, or you have you can say realizations of those teachings. that point of view, then you can do that. You can develop that quality.
Thế là ta ngang thôn lẽ là bộ cắt là ra xa do ở sông ta chỉ mà chỉ cái yang ta và tổ thuộc cái mà đấy thì thế tổ mà thấp cắt là ta rằng cái lung ai sông thì cái là cột thuộc cái đi thế nên là qua cái ta rằng cái gì để có số sâm để chứa đồ thuộc cái đó là thế chứa đồ thuộc cái chế đó ta tăng bộ chế cái chế này can đi mà ta chế này ta không sao mà tông cái đó thế chế ta không sao mà tông cái đấy rồi.
So since we are ordinary people as a beginner, so we don't have those high realizations or siddhis. So as what we have in our possession is our body, speech and mind. That we need to dedicate. How are we going to dedicate? And then we need to investigate, good, bad, what is you need to abandon, what is need to, what is you need to accept, what is you need to reject. So I'm consulting with Geshe-la if I'm missing anything, So, we need to dedicate genuinely, not just from well I will, but not from your bottom of your heart, without any of these afflictive emotions or conceptual thought or diluted thought is interfering your mind or contaminating your mind, your pure mind. So my body, speech and mind I'm dedicating. Then you can develop that.
Ta chế tất cả là rằng cái ta chữ là rằng thế rồi mà để chữ yang ta bản là thế đó mà ta này chế chốt cái gì rằng cái gì như thế cái gì như yang ta bản chế mà đi đó mà ta chế chốt cái gì ngài rằng lưu tin ta cảnh đời bên lưu thốt đó tình đời bên chế chốt cái gì so thế nên cả là bà là ta người rằng số cái tam dọn ý cái là lô đốt năng cái đó sao mà tông cái gì đó lô đốt năng cái sao mà tông cái thì cái đấy xin na 콜바 첸 데라 힘이 송체나 힘이 체나 데라 힘 빠지 렌 빠체 데 바이나 추양 다반 로크 따반 요 말이 첸 데라 힘나 추바메 세 되게 따라하면서 로도 남기 때 당호 유라 제트나 되게 콜바라 조시에 제주당 추는 조건님 용도 레벨 코드 봐 되게 로도 남기 때 공도 dü사 다 저거 그 되게 다
again the first is that we need to investigate the teaching. But somebody is teaching that you cannot put blindfold in your eyes, say, this is teaching and what he or she believes and I need to believe. It's not like that. In Buddhism, it's strictly you investigate, you analyze that makes sense to you or not this teaching. If it makes sense to you, you are, getting something from that teaching, you understanding the meaning, whatever teaching is telling you or saying you investigate that first. Then who is teaching you, whether he or whether she? So whoever as a teacher is teaching, again that individual is a genuine teacher or not. That's your moral responsibility. You need to investigate that too. So then you need to investigate yourself. We meet, we were born and then finally we met the Dharma. How we met it? What is the circumstances? What is the conditions are? How we met it? Where actually came from? Who introduced you? All that. So you investigate. All has a reason. All has meaning. So then, and then you think yourself. It's a precious, precious human existence. You obtain this precious human life. We each have that. It's not easy to obtain. We did something good, so we have perfect, precious human life or precious human existence. So now, you need to investigate that part too. So, so first, how we are going to, then all that after the investigation, then now we need to turn ourselves into Dharma activities. How to practice, how to put myself to practice Dharma, how I can do more dharmic, activities. So that's the 4 thoughts. It says 4 thoughts which turns our mind to practice Dharma. So, as like a ordinary being, as a beginner, if Dharma is not there, then sometimes our mind get bewildered. Our mind get confused. Then we get so attached to this cyclic existence, material world. So then we never, we kind of tangle with this, the cyclic existence, material or the world, materialistic world. Then we never ever going to release ourselves from that tangle, you can say. Tangle, yeah? You cannot release from that. So, we need to release ourselves. We need to be free. So, in order to do all those things, first we need to learn these 4 thoughts. So it's called the Lodok Namji in Tibetan word. Your mind reverse into practice Dharma. Turn away from the material world and letting you or making you focus into Dharma practice.
Oh yeah, then that so mudu chepa ki ne thop kyu yang da ban the de de ya ga dong jin jang ga le song sin na da nirang so kyu yang da ban ne the ne da tu san su da ba da lin ju de kyu jin le yong de jie wa ha ma de ni so na ya chen bo sa ne kyu yang da ban ne the le ko so ba mo na ya po the ne di len de ba wu ne da tun da mudu chepa ki lang kyu yang da ban the ju de jie wa ha ma so na ya chen bo sa cha le ge de dan tin de ri zong de.
Like, great enlightened master Longchen Ramgyam said, what do you think? You obtain the precious human life or precious human existence. And then plus, top of that, you met the precious Buddha Dharma. What do you think, how you obtain, how you got those, how you receive those? So, then he is answering that, saying that we did something good in our past life or previous life. We did really something outstanding job, So dharmic, job. So whatever we accumulated, merit or any kind of dharmic activities, that is the result of that. Then you have the precious, perfect, complete human existence or human life, and then we get opportunity to meet the precious Dharma.
Take it that Nan so do the Dark is una Jachimbo Masan, the Dark do Tokoyo, my Chepakin, Tamputan Tepande. They chuan Pogo and Tovatan, Tap Lepori, Tap Divanka, and Tolma, so una Jachimbo Saga, take it home. This young folk led and taught and tin, that I young about Dodina, give a Maopani young Churankini. Numezava, Tetomago, Doctor Sanjay Compa top to Jury, in Batin, Garanko, Gavagomyatan. This uncle Lekan taught it, and he continued, the Ranga Chuga data, took me Namaris on the Dada.
Again, so all that, the great deed, the great virtuous deed you did in your past life or your previous lifetime, and you accumulated like limitless merit. So then you look at, if you look at your perfect, precious human life, and then you met this Dharma, all this, like interdependent origination, the result of your previous life, the great deed you did, the virtuous deed you did. So, in this lifetime also, if you continually, if you will practice Dharma, do, Dharma activities, accumulate merit, and the future life also going to be a better and better, all the way the day you get enlightened or attain the Buddhahood. Till that time, you will go higher and higher. So also it's, there's a famous teacher made a quote that what you did in your previous lifetime, you look at in this life, this lifetime's, your life, what you did in the past, So, and what you like to, what you want to be in your next life, you look at in your present action. What kind of action or activities you're doing? So, so just look at yourself. Again, you did really good, and then you have this precious, perfect human existence, and how do you say? You obtain all that 18 qualities, the endowments, and how do you say? Free from the 8 worldly unfavorable conditions. So I'm forgetting all those words. So try to look it in the dictionary. So leisure lana yang kon so gakwa ya lo sa che leisure se pe thal bo lag da wala khom kal. So some people say leisure, huh? 8 worldly dharma, or some translator, the masters they translated says 8 unfavorable worldly, conditions. So I don't know. So who is right, who's wrong? La. 8 opportunities. Geshe-la says 8 opportunities. So. I will check here. So, Taljochep give the chick Kase Chego Dola Condola.
Tara Jedo to Mama Impe.
Oh, listen.
Tara Jedo Yava Yada to know. Talhami the Vala.
Talaje.
Tara Jet, Hotena. Mama Impe, Mama Impa and Totara Yet Yavana Tadanka Conco Mareva. Teni Yadala Tigonga Conco Matono Inco Conco Malha, Lantamto, the Conco Yuma called Hamin Tamto Deva. Latin, the Shimi Bang, Conco Yuma, Chudol, Combami, the Yen top. The Yen top that money, Macomba Yen top your money. Money Macomba Yet, your Tanko the Kisona, Cook Sugar Datam, Takayo Maria. And it locked out and head only locked out. 去阳当把它满贴把它，然后去了趁到完手马上就怕落大去有黑从这原堂口的落大点一，你落大拉落从这把。
你拿了卡萨布接到你的，你落下那个啥的。
那说古巴都是落来什么了嘛？古巴， 이 산지 마존나 양코 이 차차 토를 뭐 토병나 핑크요 말이와.
네.
디 이게 다가 뭐게 뭐 반전이 달 텀들이다.
So I will read it from here. So exactly what the translation says. So Rinpoche says something. So So these are the the 8 leisure. It says the 8 freedom, the 4 freedom from the 4 fetters within human existence. Not holding wrong view, not born in barbaric land, not born in a place where Buddha has not appeared, not born as a mute or a fool. Then the second one is the 4 freedom from 4 fetters non-human existence, not being in a hell being, not being in a hungry ghost realm, and not being an animal, not being long living God. So talwa gete something.
Teni ramjor nga tita rang ngula yorwa nga chango kuyuwa. Te rang ngula yorwa nga chango di meni iki wangbo chang len tha ma lo ne la te do di dangbo nga me yin ba meni yin ba teni meni yin ta de wangbo yin nga tham ji chung ma go ba thama chang de ba meni iki wangbo chang si me yin ba la yor chu ta sa yor gu u do di te chu ta sa yor la ki de ba wangbo chang de ba len tha ma lo do rang chu de rang lok da ri ma de chu de nga me de ba chu de me de sem de la de me de la len tha ma lo ra len tha ma lo ne de meni u ji bang bo thang len tha ma lo ne de ti ya de ram yor ti nga ri de ram yor nga ri ti nga de meni u ji wang bo thang len tha ma lo ne la de jo.
These 5 endowments are the being as a human being, and then who's obtained, who obtained complete the human existence, not having any birth defects, having all this, the arms, eyes, whatever the body parts are, you possess or you have, then born, Ravala. Allah.
Sorry, I just want to count these 5. So first one, before we doing the practice, what we have to need the opportunity. That is, first we have to be a human being. If we are born in a hell realm and other realms, then there's no opportunity to do the Dharma practice. So that's why we have to need to be born in a human realm. Then secondly, even a human realm, that's not enough. If your mental faculty is wrong, then you cannot understand or you cannot do. So all mental faculty is be perfect or need to be good. Then third is, if you born in a dark age or where there is Dharma is not flourishing, then even your mental faculty is okay, but you will not meet the Dharma, so then you will not get education, so you don't know how to do practice. That's why the Dharma must be flourishing at that time. Then even Dharma is flourishing at that time, if personally, individually, if he is not awareness of Dharma, or he is not attentive of Dharma, or he is not just neglecting, or he is not paying any attention, then even Dharma is flourishing, but individually there's no effect for him. So that's why his main mental quality is to be very interested in Dharma. If he have no interest in Dharma, then that Dharma will not affect it. So his mind should be turned into Dharma. So Nela Teba said, then Dharma, he have to be fed on Dharma, then he has to be interested in Dharma. That's the 5 quality of the need to be consistent for oneself. Then other 5 is need to become outside. These 5 qualities need to be consistent in individually, because he have to be man, then he have to be consistent of 5 mental, all mental faculties should be correct. Then his mind is to be turned on the right way, or to turn Dharma. Then Dharma, then also what call at that time Dharma teaching also necessary to present at that time. So these 5 is necessary to become need to be content within oneself. Now 5 is depend on other side. It need to become outside.
Sanje sung tan te chu sung in pa ne tan te ji so yin sen tin de ba wo sung ta yang ga le ram jo nga de chang rong de yang sanje ma sung na te phin ke ma sanje sung pe ta ten pa tha yap ji ba sanje sung ben jo ba ni sanje sung ro yang sanje ko nyam ya bi jo chu ma sung na phin ke ma te ke ta chu sung ne ne to chu dub jo ba chu sung ja ji ba te ni chu sung ji de rang ti ji de ma jo na chu sung ne ke phin ma ti ji de rang thok tho yu ba sanje sung te chu sung te ten ba ne tan te ji so yang ji de chong na ten ba te ma ni chu dub ka tu thu mi ni ten ba do na tu thu mi dong ba ten ba ne tho ba ti ti ji de chong ma ne ti chong yin sen hen de te ba wo so rang ke na ten ba ne ti ji de chong tho ba ni yang ti ta la ma te gen ki ni te rang ji so song ne thok te we ji so song tho ba rang na ti chu dub ke thun jin sang tho ba yin sen hen de te ba do de te na de ti nga de thang ma na phin thun mo te yin tu ni thang ko de yin jo nga so me ta so
this 5 quality we need to relate it to the others. So the Buddha came, Buddha appeared, the land or the planet where you born, and then he taught, he revealed the Dharma teaching, he taught the Dharma teaching. So not just Buddha appeared then didn't give any teaching, then that's no good. So have to Buddha appeared or Buddha came, gave teaching, and then Sangye Chönra wala.
Sangye Sungwa. Dimba ne tan te ji chok. Te ji le chok. Yin sen hin de ba wo so.
So then his the teaching, the doctrine he taught exists, and then people follow, the disciple follow and practice, and then develop the loving kindness and compassion. From so we are following, the teacher who's giving who's teaching, he or she again is the teaching through his loving kindness and compassion. Then as we are as a follower or disciple, then we are following the footsteps, or that teachers, you can say footsteps of the teacher's loving kindness and compassion, which is the teaching, the actual teaching.
Togar ban rin chu ta mini hin de ni ka song phop mu lo ke ta pe nga song khorwa te teng sap chung du te teng sap te jam so la pe ya te ni ya chen la khong kre ma jo te ni te sa ta ma ni te dang hin de nyong ji te toga khong ti ba pe ya ta ro ba long a te choi jab la jo te ro ba la kho mai ni jo te ti sin jin tham che lan do ke ne tu mi chi lan do ke sa wa te khu ge wa do ti pa pa mi chi jo te gu lan do ke ne mi chi ju te ke mong sung te ke mu ba ri sung du mai mi pa pe ya ti lo ya re ke than lin ne kha la me hab jo te lo ya re ba do lin ne me hab jo te ta kho chi ma yen ke ti te khu ge wa lan the ma thab te kum bo chu ge wa ta po the ma thab ta daung ke kum bo te ke te gu te lo dang te pe ya ne do wen pe gu go ni ko na ta te hin de ni ka ba
lo pe te ni jin da
yo dang pe ta jo ti ta na ta pe de de ba jo yo de ta yimba ongolo tram ongolo ti yele ma ta pe la
so we tangdang gyuni kar sa thewala
yo ta pe che wo ta
pe she jur wal tanji
so
the first we gave how difficult to obtain the precious human existence is the that we discuss about the cause, how difficult, how what is the root cause to root cause of the human existence, how to obtain the precious human life, the precious human existence. The second one is the example. It's categorically divided into, you can say, in the 3 levels. So first, cause, example, and the numbers. So now it's telling you that how difficult to obtain the precious human life is giving one a blind turtle who lives the underneath of the ocean, and that how big is the ocean. The blind turtle, and the surface of the ocean, there is like a one whole yoke, a wooden yoke. So the turtle, every 100 years, the turtle comes up to the surface of the ocean, and then the turtle is blind, but it says it's possibility the day the yoke is somewhere in the surface of the ocean, the same time the blind turtle is coming from the bottom of the ocean to the surface, and the same time, like a coincident type, might like as soon as the blind turtle pull up, his or her head might fit through that yoke. But it is the way, like if we use a common sense, we look at it's impossible, because the wave of the oceans, the yoke is the piece of wood. Whenever wave moves, the yoke will maybe go east or west or north or south. Yoke is not a solid stuff that stick in one place. But it says it's possibility, but just think of how difficult, how impossible is that. So like the sentient beings are so confused, so contaminated with their own afflictive emotion, and like a the blind turtle don't have any clue. It's like a clueless. Don't know, can't see, because the yoke is where's the yoke, and follow cannot follow because of the blindness of the turtle. So so likewise, this giving an example, that then we don't know what is what we need to reject, what we need to accept, what is positive, what is negative, so then we get confused, we get distracted with all this material world and all so forth.
Ta tang kon pe ya na tani rowa dai thok te la ta ya ba la sa chin pe do tang ka tang ma nyong la cha ya ta ri ya da te ti cho kan ga ke da ke se ma ke se ke tang na nya mi la pe ya na ta ha ne tun do te yang so ko thong lu sa le ku kan thong ko tun do tham che tani ta ha do la ri wo la ti to sang de pe ya den ka che da te nga de cha tha ka ma la te ma ni ten da ri sing dong ri la ti pe sin ka che ne do te wo tun do ma nyong te ku u sun thong lu thong chu la ri ha ko ho ti ten da ta ha ma yin la kha ba pyo so ba ta lo so la ta ma yi yam de don na ti se mo tu na do cha ba sa ma do ti dang ma nyong ko na te za le dang ma nyong sem chi ke dang ma nyong yu du ti te ke me tho pa ti sin to ka ba kon ba yin ba do ta ke yin ha ko khu yu ri so ne.
So now you compare your precious human life with the animals. So animal, any kind of creatures, even you like if you're walking somewhere and there's like a little rock, you pull up, so how many different kinds of insects underneath? Then you compare, they don't know, where they are, what they're doing, or, what they are up to, but you have, you as a human being, you know what is, good and bad. So you compare yourself. Likewise, like some insects, some creatures we can see through our eye, but some we cannot. But there's, like some sort of a telescope or something you look at, there's like all kinds of little creatures. So, like a snow, some, like we can see like a snowflakes. Like then you cannot calculate, you cannot count the snowflakes. It's like that. Then you compare yourself. You have this precious human life. Oh, I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate one. So,
Ta tanda pe tang jo tang song gon ti ta xin jie ni ta mu de ne thok ka ba yin ba yin ne ra sam ne ri rang ta ko wa de wen thok ko ko ti ko wa lang sa ka ti rang yu da chur jan ta rang mu de si so kan da thok gon do ta thok ji de ti ta tong da ka de do gon do san ti den ja ko ko de ba la tanda den ja ti ta sa mo tong ta mu de thok ka ba de ha nga yu de je ba ta mu thok ka ba yin ba de ha ko te rang thok ka ba de tong de do go da sam ne ta.
You need to analyze, you need to investigate piece by piece, frame by frame, how precious is our human life. Individually, there's individual responsibility. So you investigate. Like it says, like cause, example. But then it's like an example to number, just counting the number. So eventually then you got it now. Oh, really, this is a precious human life, making sense. Till that time, you investigate. It's a lot of people, what precious, human life. They complain about themselves. So it's because we don't investigate how precious it is. Like example, with we are comparing with the insects and living creatures and like that. They have no idea, no knowledge of whatsoever, where they are, what they are up to, But we know good and bad, whatever. We have we are conscious, so we know that. So, there's so many ways. Rinpoche Tanji de Chutim dan Jimba dan zo. So, in the course, I think I said this to you or not, then also one, the quality you obtain was, in the course of the precious human life is that you practice on the morality, moral ethics. And then the moral ethic is not enough. Rinpoche says, you have to have you need to also practice on generosity. So this goes together, the morality and the generosity. So that's another, the result of the merit you accumulated to obtain this precious human life. I think I forgot that, so I have a note here, so I'm just remind him.
Taranga topa te ko pan ho tie ne te la te ti dam me ti sing ta topa ke ho men ti ne ti ni la sem te thu po nyam ba ya te mo to pa so ta nam to mi peng nyam ba go ko yu ni
so like investigate yourself, how difficult is the precious human life, or how difficult to obtain the precious human life. Then the whatever activity you did in the past, or not to follow, not to repeat, not making all kinds of plan. So in other words, these are all thoughts, right? So not interfere the thought, the diluted thought into your pure mind, not to follow. The thought comes up, you need to say something negative or positive, then you follow that thought, and then you take it into action. So during this time, you investigate, you analyze, get to, some level glimpse of the how difficult to obtain the precious human life. Then you need to relax, means meditate. And then, not letting the thought, the diluted thought or the conceptual thought arise into your, pops up, the simple word, it pops up in your mind, and not to follow those thoughts. Whether it's the previous or the past time thought, or the, in the future thought, whatever it is. So not to follow that. Then if you follow, then you get distracted. You're not going to relax. The simple word is.
Te to marana ti jintun tan te la chan dawa tan jintun tan ta te ku yo ju to san yan ba go thna te ki phin kha yu te ki ko te tan te chu de ra le da po ka la ko yang ta ba ta to ma te ta de yen yo pen ma bi gom jin na te ki ko chu so de jintun tan ong thap so de.
So so as a beginner, like we mentioned earlier, that no visualization. The no visualization means like we have to have a realization or siddhi of like Dzogchen teaching or Mahamudra teaching or Madhyamika teaching, realization. But these are very advanced practice and teachings. So, but you don't need to worry about now, I cannot practice. No, you can practice. It's that this, that we just mentioned, that you relax your mind as much as possible. Not to, follow yourself into those deluded thoughts. Then you have some sort of a glimpse, quality of those three practice or teaching, you can say.
Ti gewan je pe je tan ti kin da ma da kin ki gewa ti lo khu li so gewan je pe je zo ti ti ma hu pa tan ngong hu tan yin na che tan ju pa ti so da ra rang ge gewa te hu ma ki pa tan ti gewa lo pa la hu chuan da nga chen de thon ni nga ga wo ji bo de wong kho sim de nga ga nu de le ma ro de ti kho be kho sim de de lo pa la hu go ba gewa ga ta ba hu ma che de ba la te ma hu ma ro de tha de ba ta hu na lo pa hu cha ba tan Dini gewa zi lopna te gewa pe sapo do san te mana ngomne te xie ne te do nge te se u do pe ngomde na ti ngomde de gewa de do khoyu de bala ma mu pa da mo yin ne yu pa chi de ne ma gewa chimbo do ja yin te nge te sa do ja ri mo do san san de pe ga hin chu pa pu yin ba tang chou ne te yin ba tong che da so ti che ke sang na de sa de ti nge te dai ma do san san de yin yang ti gewa ma do ja yin yu pa chi na ting hem gewa la do khoyu tin tin je pa yo ye te ke je no ko ta te ndo nyam ga go chi che gong ni si so na tin men je ta de ba la tin je khoyu ma te ti gewa je pe yo ye ke ti nu to khoyu ma ri so ne
lok pa lam
ma mu pa la wo hu tang yin na che tang ju pa chi so te gewa je pe yo ye te ye de ba la ta
te gewal te song te wala ji song te wa tang go gewa ta ko yang ta be lam mangu wa dan chek song te wala
ma hu pa ta ho ma hu ni gewa ko ma chi de ba te ma hu pa ni lo pa la hu cha lo pa lo
lam lo pa
la
So anyway, so we need to cultivate this four quality. Also, we need to develop within ourselves that, the dedication we mentioned. The dedication should be dedicated to the right place. You can say the right side. Wherever that you're dedicating the right, the perfect you need to make the perfect, you can say, dedications. And then, not, the second one is not dedicating into some sort of a, lokpa is like a wrong way. Your dedication is not entering into a wrong way or wrong path. And then the third one is not having a pride, or like say, I accumulated merit and having a great pride, telling everybody, whatever, having a great pride. So not having a pride about the merit. That we need to what we discuss is that we need to accumulate merit. Then we need to dedicate that merit into the sake of all sentient beings' welfare or all sentient beings' benefit. And then, the dedicating those merit to the right direction or right path, and not dedicating the wrong path or the wrong way, not having that pride. And then the fourth one is not regretting, like I wasted time, I accumulated, complaining, or the stuff, so whatever, or, regret about the merit you accumulated. So I wasted time, and then, like sometimes, you give something, then you get regret. Oh, why should I give that? I need it now. Or my family need it, or my loved one need it. Like you gave something to charity, like charity or like shelter or so on, so, the needies. Then later you regret that, I shouldn't give that, I need it. Then those are the, you need to avoid, you need to reject that kind of.
Geva de pepe na tahang ke tam jo ni kawa la sa na ta tang ho ju pe tang song ko ni lo de la rang ke tang ho te ta chen jie ni te jie ta ta yo gom to ta te de da gom ka geva te ta rang ho ko ko yu ri ting ho cha jin na ta ri ti kin ke se to ko yu ma tin te kin kin na ta te khung tho ke ta ta ka geva ma ko ka wa cha ta sa geva ta khung tho ke to yong ji sang chang ma na ta jie ne la no ko yu ri
So while you are in this, you are practicing this kind, practicing virtuous deed or accumulating merit. During that time, not to let arise your anger. Anger is so powerful; it's going to destroy instantly. Instantly, it's going to destroy whatever merit you accumulated in the past or previous or present. It's going to destroy instantly. Likewise, the other afflictive emotions, so like anger, desire, ignorance, jealous, pride, these are the 5 afflictive emotions. So, the anger is the main. But Rinpoche is saying that, so, then the rest of the follows, so then it destroy. You accumulated merit like a size of huge mountain, for example, and it's going to destroy instantly that huge mountain. The anger is so powerful, so negative. Last.
Yes, that is the thing that I give out drug shop are they have in the Nang in Par, Mazon, only that give out the younger that who she go for you. What you tell that? Corson up a top, but I will see him go. So, me, they will not take a young down for you. That I'm answer the young team, make it. That let me tell you that is a gentleman who go Kulusina. Any young papa will go to the bottom, Java said and Java sending a tuna candle, the Gava Naga Tet at the home, Tin and Gava till the Nugget, I can show the thing I'm the penny, Naga Dardens in the main, and look at Patone, senting tu ho leng san ta da lu ko pha to ti ko lu zang bo yam ba yang san de kan da hu na ti ta ho leng san ta da ti rang ka pha te senting na yin ko ku ba nga ke da kan ding khayu ma de ba la den da se kan ta pe ya na yam tho chim po na rang ke ge da chung cho chot tik ma sam de yam tho chim bon na pha de so na ti yam tho te ma ka ba ti chot tik ba dan de ji mi ba pe te ta ti rang ke ne ka ke de wa tho ku de thar thar ba da tham ni ba kong phang rang ke ma tho chi ba de ti ge da de gong ni gong de phan du de me ti la ji mi so ne ni yo ho wa tam ba ke phin wo te xie wo de ba la
so under any circumstances we are not supposed to lose our merit, what we accumulated, not let those afflictive emotions destroy our merit. And then the merit I accumulated, I'm going to dedicate to the sake of all sentient beings' benefit. If you have the siddhi or the realization of the non-visualization primordial wisdom, it's called. If you have that, it's like it's a realization, it's a siddhi, attainment. If you have that, then you don't need to go through all that, but you can do it through that primordial wisdom. If since we don't have that, we are ordinary beginner practitioner, then you can just take an example, Manjushri, Samanta Bhadra, Samanta Badri and so forth. So however they dedicated their merit to the sake of all sentient beings, take an example for them, and then you dedicate your merit. So then your merit is going to be increase, not going to decrease. So it's going to increase and increase and increase, whether it's this life or next life. The ultimate, the liberation stage is the Buddhahood, the enlightenment state. Till that time, that merit is going to be continually, it's going to be increased.
Tambo ni lodo nange ni gozo ni gom di ta ko saja chimpo do kwa chimpo na kierem do na karak gom na tamba so khonan thama lam den ta du li khule tin nan ta ta mata pa re gom na ta tamba so khonan du do ko khu yuri ta ngi mata pa gom du ta mata pa la na so ta kan re ri de usna ta tam jor tin da ni ka wa ri te tin da ni ka wa te dang yek ha wa yin ba chi ko khu yuri
so then now the second one is the second thought. The first one is how difficult to obtain the precious human life. The second one is the impermanent. Nothing is permanent. Impermanent. So also this we cannot say that now I obtain the complete, perfect, precious human life. This precious human life is permanent. We cannot describe, or we cannot say it like that. Because this precious human life is also impermanent. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to be disappear any minute, instantly. We don't know, but it's the inherent nature of the precious human life is also impermanent.
Me tang chok long ka tin thang je nan thama nam kha tong parang ji ong ti za ta karma la su pa ra wa ta khan je sin ho ke cha tho thama de thani ma ta ba de wala thama ji gyo yu ri so on ti nu tham che tan dam je gyo du ti nang ka sin ki tham che da sa sa jung tha kwan da ra ko ma ta ba bi ji gyo du sin ki tham che ko mu ma go pa thama nang ka nu ju tham che tong je do ba la sa ke ji tin dan ji gyo yu ri ti nang ka sin ki tham che ji gyo ri ti te sin ho ke Dictin della sana matapa gongo kuyuri, Nanjo Sintin sana matapa gongo kuyuri, so that is a tampachilla some the matapa gompa, you could dapola some the matapa gompa, Dumpa tapola some the matapa gompa, that is matapa subject densa uri, that are commanding a simhook in Dictin della time, making choking longer bonnet in Taman cut on Barangin Kato, Tani, Ondo, Song, Sayura, to name to Sakolanda. Tinam Khan is Zakar Manamata, Dapayu Mantan, Yuri, Giri, Mato, whom ba mai ba thuk thpa da pa ji ru ti la mari wala get out that smoking things on them tapa gongo ku
so how we're going to practice this impermanent is like look at whether it's inner phenomena or outer phenomena. Inner phenomena is the sentient beings, living beings, creatures, so forth. So the outer phenomena is all this, land, earth, water, whatever existent of the outer phenomena. Those called the outer phenomena. Those the phenomena is going to be destroyed eventually. Like fire, the fire is going to burn. The wind is going to, blow away. All that, when the end of the world, when it ends, it's going to, the cycle ends. This, the cyclic existence cycle ends. Then it's going to destroy with the fire and the water and the wind and so forth. So we hear that quite often. So even other religions say that too. So that's their inherent nature is also impermanent. Nothing is impermanent. Like Rinpoche is saying, even the sun and the moon and the star and all the galaxy, whatever existing there, it's going to destroy also. Eventually. Eventually it's going to be a disappear. It's not going to stay there like same size in the same place and like that. So these all are the inherent natures. It reminds us, tells us or teaches us impermanent. So we need to meditate on impermanent.
Yes, that take it in.
And then Rinpoche chik dusinda woji chik chil song la jamsa nal dusi lo na dusi chine
chotik pa chik ta te chotik pa nga ke gewa chung chung de la pe ja da la chotik pa chik jam tho de la jam ba yang kun dang po tham chik kan chot so pa ja wa se de ba gewa la chim bo de ba ti nang nga ke gewa chung chung de ta tin phang ho nga ke da de ma re ma zong hui ka na ho ang ho lo de te ya ne la ti chotik pa de jam tho de lo jam tho de ma ka ba chotik pa de kam de ma de ba
so I mention or not, I don't know, but when it goes deeper and deeper, some things, it automatically reminds me, it comes up in my mind that, then like say, the how we are going to dedicate our merit that we accumulated, like take an example like Samanta Bhadra or Manjushri, but you say, you accumulate just tiny bit of merit, like take it as your merit is the size of a drop of water. You drop that drop into the ocean, and then that drop is going to be melted into going to be mixed into the ocean water, and then your merit is going to be like flourishing everywhere, spreading, you can say. So your merit is never ever going to destroy unless if your afflictive emotion, like your anger, is not going to destroy.
So, that take mata pa gong de ta tin yik tin tham che mata pa sen yik tin nga ne lu sa sa yin de la mata pa yin ba ta nang ke nu ke sem tin tham che mata pa yin ba ta sa mo tang na ta ra ne na chur ji ni de ni che pa do khong yo ra ji ma to ta pa yo ma ri ba si pa dharma ni ge pa ne khong je ga nam che ke ta pa yo ma ri da ta ra jo long ju ke ta pa yo ma ri khu che su na ta pa yo ma cha ma ta pa me ba jang jang yi sang cha du ta nga tho ta kan de khu su po lon ta ba ko no long ju kha je kan de chen bo ji na ko te che tu la yu na che me la yu ri ngin ba ngi pa yu ma che ba la yu na che tha la yu ri ngin pa mi de no long ju ye bo ji na ta pa mi song wu ri o ta khang thok nga thang kan de wa cha chen bo se ma yi na ko na nyen thok a thang chen bo ke pe ne du ta lo ko yang in hong ne sa le ko lo wan cha gang yang mi ba tan da ong si le ko ten ra na thok nga thang la wan ma ta pa yin ba ha ko ko yu ri ta rang ke zo la tho kan de zo ji po ya po na ko ten la yang ta pa yu ma ri ko te ge jo yu ri dang ko yin yin pan da man da ne ki na sa ki yang ko ten da zo ya po ji po tho ne tho ko yu ma tan da sa na ma ta pa ri de yu ri
so just there's so many. Take example how to practice impermanence, just like look at a child, a baby when born, and how it's born, then how gradually it's grow up, then like youth, old age, sickness, and so on. So it goes. Everybody is going to go through that. So it's likewise. Nothing is permanent. It gradually changes. So nothing stay in the one person, in the one place permanently. It moves. So likewise, you take your wealth. Your wealth is going to be, decrease. Your wealth is not going to stay at the same time, the same way. I mean, likewise, your fame. You're famous. Maybe you're president of the United States or president of something. You're a very famous, well-known person. But next year or following year, you don't know, you might lose that election, and you become that you're famous. Your power is just disappears. So it tells so many ways all this, and nothing is permanent. Everything is impermanent. Like we said, whether it's the inner phenomena or an outer phenomena, all are impermanent. The inherent nature is impermanent. There's nothing related to the impermanent. Any phenomena, all are related to the impermanent. Whether it's like a huge wall, eventually that wall will come down. Whatever the time period it's going to be, but the wall is come down, eventually. Wealth is like that. No matter how much wealth, but that wealth is going to be eventually disappear one way or the other. Whether it's your lifetime or your child's lifetime or somebody's, that wealth is not going to stay like that. So nothing is going to be permanently stay there forever. Eventually it's going to disappear. It's going to destroy, like a birth. When you say birth, the death word comes automatically. Birth. Then you're not just birth, like saying that old age, sickness, and so when you gradually, while you're growing up, then time comes. Then you cannot move, you cannot do nothing. Then you're caught up with there's like all kinds of sickness and illness and so forth. Maybe with one cause and condition of that. So but whatever it is, the bottom line is it's going to destroy. It's going to disappear eventually.
ko se sajo ko se yo na the ta kwa yo ma de wala den da ko kan yang tu na kan so na ta ma ta pa yin ba de ha ko na ma ta ba den da ben ti den ba ta po ko gong ko yu li song li.
So whatever, whether food, and again we are talking about the impermanence. If you know the true nature of the impermanent, and whether you're staying in one place or you're traveling, whatever, something goes wrong with one of your possession, you're not going to get frustrated. You're not going to get upset because this, it will break down. It might get lost. But it's impermanent. You know that nothing is permanent. Right? You might lose somewhere, or somebody might rob you from there, that's no longer yours, and anything can happen, whatever. Then you are not going to get sad. You are not going to get mad. Because happen, because it's impermanent. So, if you practice, this is, we are talking about how to practice impermanent. What is the true nature of the impermanent? If we practice like that, we we put it in our practice, then we are not going to get any frustration, I will say.
진짜 맞다 봐도 검디다 담조니까 검디 때니까 첸들 힘바 첨보라 첸들 단진을 속고 다 첸들 단진을 좀 거기 그러라 근데 다시 군다면 지산 자기만 하고 그냥 체제대 기다 싸와니 되는 통코요 말이 이 담조를 간다 톡가가 말 하마고 책대 그다음 파 동미의 추주동 토사동 거기로 또 토사동 담조 때문에 동세를 콘도 거기로 그 연결아 터져라 디왕나 콘도 거기로 되게 담조니까 와당 체마다 바데니 약보랑 곰 키우나 디 첸대 힘바라 당진의 방토 거기로 첸디 힘바 당진의 방토나 제와 스마가 동다 침보도 레줌데라 이치리네 나 레줌데 상초는 죽게바도 시바당 르바방 시바 다 그냥 또도 설레서 말이 고리와라.
So if if we know how difficult to obtain the precious human life, what is the the true nature of the impermanent? What is the meaning of the impermanent, or what is impermanent? If we know that very well, then also eventually we know what is the karmic cause and effect. So then we are not going to get then mitakbadan tanjani ka wadan mitakba yapun gomsal na
de kimpara anjin de million ko de wala sen de anjin kimpa mina ni lo le so rong ge wala.
So right now we get so we are so caught up with this material world, and then we don't think, or we can say we don't have time to think about death. Whatever business, whatever the daily life chores, we are so involved. We are making plans, we are thinking, making plan, whatever project you started, the project is not going well, then you get upset at business, anything. So so whatever it is, we are so then we are not thinking about the death. Then one day you are at the doorstep of the death, or you eventually time flies, in other words. So then when you at the dying process, or you reach, or you arrive at the doorstep of the death, then you say, oh, what I did, what then it's ahead of the time, if you have a knowledge of the death, whatever your daily life activities, your chores are, but with that, if you know the death, I'm not permanent. So then that self-grasping, not letting that self-grasping ego, not to let cling that constantly, then that clings, then I, mine, me, then that self, whenever that self-grasping ego clings, then we have that attachment, aversion, whatever, So we are not going to have that. So we know that, impermanent, death, so and so forth. So we are not going to get so crazy, we are not making a whole lot of plan. Whatever, to survive, that we all need to do, but not getting, another word is, you can say, not reacting over something you try to accomplish, but it's not accomplishing, Make sense?
Ninda da ka ju ko ma na ba ka ti Rupa ke yam sing chok ne hin ke tanda ne gom thar sin dwa thom do jite lo do na ma ge ta ho yu le ki ne te yu ki so ne te ke ni tu da chu da hin ne jo da Rupa thop chu de thar sin ta pa de lo do na yu ki ti yong ti yin song wo li da ra ma ta pa re pe ne ya cha ya gan te khara gom chong khong ne ma ta pa yu le ki yin ju khong chang ke chong khara gom chong khong te thau re ba la khong chang ke chomo khara du sat na yo de no ka la ti 폭반은 또 공양이 나는 용도고 폭폭고사를 철풍에서 그래가 철풍 좀 통. 근데 공철 아신 돈도 철풍을 고생 통도 어레 쭉 고사리 쌈 공양 안보 라디오지 어레 쭉 조들레살은 나한테 쭉 운동세 개마도 이렇게 살 나한테 어레 쭉 운동세 나시나 가르치 사 쭉지 맞춘 타마 라마데 더바 통네 국산 타요 판도 저 다리 철풍도 뭐 탈송도 폭폭고원 찬도래리 뒤에 쭉지 맞용네 다시 뭐 다빠데 쌈데는 개바도 때문에 대줄 두두들 공 토하온 사리 나 대세션에 가르치 쌈셔도 개바도 때문에 쭉지 마시 하스는 살래 말라 세풍데 세풍데 당보 세풍데 쭉 고도 쭉 마토 때문에 공즉 가발 공 더바 톱소들이 아 당보 공나 용도 뒤 세풍데가 아슨 로산 람가라 뒤 푸푸고사라 우데가 대 쭉고다 산디 에께 누세사는 개바도 이렇게 살이 에 쭉도 생각 하나 셔나 가르치 대중도 두두대 살 나 개마돌레 가지리 마도 나나 셰시디 마리 산테 마타파 주지리 콩가 대중주 마 하스네 살레리
There is a great Mahasiddhas, highly realized being. His name was Khara Gomchong, where he was meditating. He's doing, where he was doing his retreat. The right very edge of his door of that cave where he's doing his meditation and so forth. So there's like a small tree of thorn, right? Yeah. So whenever he comes, in and or coming out or going in, whenever that little thorn tree, the rope, the monks that wears the robes, they caught into thorn. The thorn, when it gets, to the fabric, it pulls you back, kind of. So one day he thought, whenever I, go, come out or I go in, this thorn tree is, disturbing my robes. So he thought, I should cut this little tree down. This thorn tree, get rid of it. Then immediately, that he thought, why I waste it's not bothering me. I can still maneuver in, I can still go in, I can still come in. It touches a little bit, I don't need to worry about that. Why I waste my time? Whatever the time period takes to cut that thorn tree, instead of cutting that tree, I should practice or meditate. I can accumulate a merit. I can accomplish something, So he did, and he achieved one of the high realizations.
Oh yeah, that rang mata pa yin pa shi chat dila. Yang mata ne rang chewa dil chat du. Chu pai chat chan ni ko me te len do che chok am ne do wi za ko jewa lin ju mi ni ko chat ma ong do yu na. Tena ta le de ong no we ko yu ma ri. Ta rang so lu do te ko chot lu no jo lu jo men ka cha ri. Na pa shi pa de shi jo yu ma ri. Na pa shi pa de shi ji mi ko ka re do ko yu na ko le gi ji san dang ko la ra ma tin yu ma ri. Te ja pol dan dan do le. Du je ni te ja pol do jo na long ju za ta yin shi ji men da ji bu chu ne ga ne gang do jang le ne dharma yin de ji san da so chu paro don do paro ta che sama do go na churan ga je la ta ra long ju khor na de gan de chu ja chen bo teng sa bo do na chu ji la khap ko no mo long ju khap ko no mo de churan ji la no ko yo ma ri so churan la khor gan de khor po so gan de na churan la ro pa ma khre ma ti sa yo ma ri chu ji la gan rang ga de chu ta ra le ge de ka de se chu sa wa ga de se cha wo chu sim yu la ba kha ga de ya ba kha zang ga de ya ga de chu ji la dang de wo ri chu ga na so na de ji la dang mi na dang de yo ri le ge ji san dang ko ko yo ri so ne ba la
So it's a text called Samadhi Raja Sutra. It's a text. This text, it's a teaching. It mentioned that, how gorgeous, how beautiful, how strong, how famous, how powerful, whatever you are, the mundane body is going to, eventually it's going to destroy, it's going to disappear. Likewise, whatever wealth you have, reputation you have, nothing is going to help you, nothing. All going to disappear. So what that in the mundane body is going to be, you're going to live. The mundane body is going to die. In other words, that your consciousness is not going to die. Number Shiva, that's not going to die. That consciousness has the consciousness doesn't have the self-freedom or self-independence. So whatever action the consciousness follow, or whatever action, karma, the consciousness follow with the karma, with your very own karma. So whatever karma you have, or that's the consciousness is going to follow. Number Shiva, the leg Dangres, follow Rama Yamares,
leg the Karasashon could take you down to take you down the two gunners from Canada, Natural Kiavasama Canado, from later given down the matter, no long Jura, who are the skunks that they could give us.
So anyway, so your son, your bodyguard, your security people, your relative, your community people, your whatever, or race, your ethnic origins, nobody is going to help you or going to follow you. Only, your consciousness is going to follow, like I said, the karma, and the consciousness itself doesn't have the self-freedom. So then whatever virtuous deed or non-virtuous deed, according to that, it is going to follow that. So, legi dix, rituala. Tene.
I take a leg in round on your ticket. I lem jelly go curious. Lem jelly matana, Tarita, so they gave us Iona, then David don't have only party in a remato. Two lem gave us I had the two part to two rings from the part heart from the Dara. They answered the gas have said, no, you're that and that's one in Uncle, my cool gave us Iona, taken David Demar on your tongue, gave us Iona, taken David don't have you take only party in a cool, they just down party in Somali party, he said.
So, if you did, you committed all kind like negative karma, then you are going to, the result is going to be negative. You committed like say heinous crime or something like that, and then you want to transform into that positive karma. You can't. You cannot change like that. You cannot exchange like that. So whether it's a positive, it's going to be a positive. If it's negative, then it's going to be negative. So that way, then you will understand. So the third one now looks like we are reaching the, precious human life, then impermanent, and now looks like we are talking about the karmic cause and effect. The karmic cause and effects. Whatever karma we are going to cultivate or generate, then the result is going to accordingly. So it's positive, it's going to be a positive result. If it's negative, then it's going to be negative.
Ha kono kare is nothing, and so little nanita, yellow yato, zozi, hadye, joto, Rampa Kata, Rampa Yava said that kiwa ngama le zangi kan sa kan ti debe te ta ta na ba pha yawa se de yo de ba ti den pha yawa se de rang kar sa ke rang kar le sa kar le ka na te rang la me rang la te yong do ko yuri ta rang kan be tor ka le kan de jab de na thoi lan be tor ka le jab de ko ka tha do yong ma to debe thob je mi ba ta thore ke yang be tor te sa ja ma go ba ke ko rang ko ki yong de ba ta da de kiwa ngama so na chi chong ke de me ta ran be tor chong ka le ma do wa te ta le di english jim chin le te to ha ko ko ri so
So now how is the karma, how's the simple word is how this karma works. So just look at individually, look at any community, look at it in your nation, or your country. Just so many ways you can take an example. Some don't need to work hard. They got everything. Some they work hard, still not getting enough. Right? We all are same. So we work hard, still not getting. Sometimes we work hard, we're getting everything. So there, so it's going, around like that. So many ways. But the main thing is where it started from the very beginning. Whatever merit you accumulated, based on that merit, then we are having a quality life, you can say, a perfect livelihood, you can say, or how to say, imperfect livelihood. All are related to that accumulation of the merit based on that karma. Making sense? Okay.
Din te ke ta ni rang so ta nang ba ke che chu chi a ta ni tin pa ta wa yang ta pa lo te lem de hwa me ba yi thu pyo de ta ka chin bo ri de le nge ta thro ba ke ni tin pa ri cha ni tin pa ri cha tu le ge de ke phinu yo de ba la ge ba do na te de ba jong ko yo ri me ge ba do na de do han jong ko ri ti lem de sa ba me ba lem de li chi ya po chi so na tin ti lem de sa ba me ba yi chi cha tu chu chu we na gang we na chu ge ba re sa mo to ge ba dom do ko yo re ba te ta ko tem de se mi mi te tham chin chin chi chu yin so ta ra mi na so nang ba san je pa ke ko le jum de ke ji san dang wa rang le te rang ka re le sa ka na rang ni le ma to yin ke le sa ka rang na me ko ma rang le sa ka yin me ro bi hil ma te ko rang le ka sa ka rang me ba ta te chi go ko yo ri te chi cha tin te ko lem de se mi mi ri da te ha ko ti ta wa yang ta pa lem de se mi mi ri da sa ne rang ke sam ta wa re sang thna ta te ni tin pa ta wa yang ta pa ro ko ko yo
Lem de
mi do so ba mi le ko lem de ka re pen na nga ke pan do ka re ta kan de ta na de chon de hing gi ma to yo ko mi ne da yin da le yin hing ko ma ba de ta le ko ke ge ba dom na te ne de ba ru gi pa chi so ba mi pa te so ba mi pa ko te chu pa mi pa ong do ko de mi do te ko te so ko de mi le ta ko le sa cha te ko le ka re sa na te de hing gi ma to te ta hing gi mi le so bo na 대가 서서 저 양만나 딜레데 나가 매네 세고 거기 양만나 짜고 거기 봐. 아 짜리고 되고 짜리고 송으로 봐라. 양나 짜고 양나 빈고 되면서 대가 사면 고소 고지 밀레리 휴미 고지 밀레리.
So you can now is the karma, whether it's a positive karma or a negative karma, we are talking about if we recognize what is the karmic cause and effect thoroughly, completely, if we understand the true nature of karma, then we are not going to commit ourselves, or we are not going to create any negative karma, because we know the consequences of if we negative is going to be negative karma. That's non-virtuous deed. Then we are going to change our focus. We are, if we are even saying one word, that's going to be a positive word. Whatever action, whatever moves, all are going to be positive. So, like for example, that if you're cultivating a rice, for example, the result is going to be a rice. not barley or not wheat. If you think, I'm plowing the farm or the field and throwing the seed of the rice or cultivating seed of the rice, then then the plan B is, you want the wheat out of rice. You cannot modify it. You cannot modify like that with the karma. Whatever you get, whatever you plan, that one will get you back, and that will come back, or you will get that back. I don't know, I'm getting sleepy or something. Tongue is now not working anyway. So so it's like that. So if you plant rice, you will get the rice. You cannot modify. Yes, there's one thing that if you committed such, let's say, in a negative karma, then the how I did, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly you committed negative karma, or you did, you generated non-virtuous deed, that you will get the result of that negative karma, which is you created or you generated within yourself. That way you can get rid of that karma, or you can confession. You practice confession, then you can reduce that negative karma. But you cannot modify that karma, There's no way you can modify that karma. As an example, saying you're cultivating or you're planting the rice and then wishing the result as a barley or a wheat, then you are not going to get that. It's a very use your own common sense. Make sense? Yeah.
Tata ranke zopa sanje te kompang thoble ke ranke le sana te ngak thom no khuyuri o nintu ranja ke kompang thoble le sana te ngak thom no khuyuri ta la ta me kompang thoble le ge ba sa chona te ngak thom no khuyuri wala o te menge ranke ta me ge ba sa ne churang ya ba na chele re min song chele yeda chele chu le sa chona churang ranke sa ka te ranang theng ne rank na chen no khuyuri ma to te le to te rank kar le kan te rang na phing khuyuri ba. So,
for example, based on your accumulation, you wishing as a, like ordinary, wealthy, famous being, or you have a desire to reach or achieve the God realm, that's up to you, or you wishing the realm of the realm or the, you can say realm, you can not realm, sorry, a level of the like ordinary, wealthy, wealth, fame, power and so forth, that kind of being you wanted, or you want to be in the God realm, having all the God realm's enjoyment, or Nintu Rangel, Partika Buddha and Sharavaka Buddha. Kare lag rahe? Solitary. Nintu Rangel or Sharavaka Buddha and Partika Buddha. Sharavaka. This is a Sanskrit word. So it's like a solitary, Geshe-la is saying, it's a solitary, this is a level. Huh? Oh, solitary. Or you can say a self-liberation state. It's simple, you say self-liberation, you're self-liberating, not liberating others, so that level, if you want, that's up to you. That's, it's like your own free will, your own choice. or you want the ultimate stage, which is the Buddhahood, the enlightenment state. That's up to you.
Take it that give a dirt type of compound top you there, Tanjake, to tapa top tap it in to give a dirt to tapa tokundo, though the top tap it in the Rimato. Tanjake Churang don't pan in the edition can't pinch you, my the tapa top jake menga tap the Churang into the tablet rank a drummer run around the Yuriso. The later don't have Congo.
So, so like Buddha said, I showed you the skillful method of the liberation state, how to achieve the enlightenment state or the Buddha, liberation state or the Buddhahood. Buddha is not going to just grab you and just throw you, liberate you. He's not he or she, whether it's female Buddha or male Buddha, whoever you're involved with it, but that enlightened being is not going to just pick you up and take you there or throw you up like we're throwing a piece of stone or rock somewhere. It's not going to happen like that. But you're going to, the method, the skillful mean. If you will liberate, you can liberate this their way or not. But that's up to individual. That you want to liberate or not. He shows, he or she shows that method, and then up to us, we want to liberate or not.
What the Lankin Dharma to Jojo could not write at a time. Laying in Passai at the random thing, the Tank talk in Hankus on the yin, the Kisuka, Dogshire, and now read around the person laying in Passai at the meet it, leg and meet and hang that, and I'm calling Hanko about it.
So, like, the hell realm, hell realm, not only Buddhist, other religion also talk about hell realm. This is like a common words. There's existence of that hell realm. So then, who are who borns in the hell realm? The beings who slaughter, kill, whether it's the animal, innocent people, whoever. And then how in the hell realm is how the heat hell or hot hell or cold hell. So there's so many levels of hell in the hell realm. So who are wandering, who need to pay their karmic debt, you can say karmic consequences in the hell realm, need to go through all that. With the anger, killing, destroying, creating all kinds of destructions, bringing suffering, in other words. Then you need to pay the price, right? One way or the other. So it's like that.
Ti le me ge ba te ti sama ti mam tha mi pa ti dong ha yong yin ba ti dong ha rang ge zo ka ti rang ge pho le meng ke chu ju pan son do ji mi pa ta da yin ba ti hit cha du ta rang ge de pa na du ti ta khu chou ma song le ti jor ma song le ti jun de ti si pa yu ti tin da si go khu yu ri ta ta me rang so ge chu sang ha do je te pa la the ne ta nga nang ba san je bi chu go le yo len de sa ma yi si ni cha ne chu ka da ri lo chu do ti je ba sama pa do ro ba ka de na Churang, the two Churang less and batake Bob Peg read the woody. Then two pardon in Amtracha, Churang leg, then Ramadan, Dema Lake, and two pardon in Samuna, pardon in Amtracha. Churang to say Lamartin, so on that person. Churang Lamartin, so at that Tille, Tit to take it, Lama Lansan, Lama took just not done, let Tokuri. Churanga so on that take a samba, Sawa Nini, me, Chu Lamatin, Sanana meet and Lama Tan is home, then a Chuka Hako, Lama Tortokuma, the Lake Carson, and Terry, Dotita, Tonari, sem ke sam ma sa game ke sam ba ta ya ko pa tha so lo ko de ba la de ti ta pa cha yo to bi ra ge ba the tu te so na chen bo ka ba din pa ri do hi go ji jum ke te ri de ba la.
So we need to plan. We need to make our mind pure, like a noble mind, it says. A big mind, not limited mind. So we need to develop that. And always you need to put positive contents into your mind. Do not put any negatives. So we consider ourselves as a Buddhist practitioner. In the Buddhist practitioner, this extraordinary, the Tibetan Buddhist, the Vajrayana practice. It's very, it's called a multiple choice practice. So many options you have. You can practice this way or that way. You have all kinds of options. So you can practice that way. So we all are, the ultimate our goal is to achieve enlightenment state of the Buddhahood. So, like we say, while we are in the dying process, then that last very breath, when that stops, then we call ourselves as that's a corpse, yeah? Corpse, yeah, corpse, right. Corpse, dead body. The body, like we mentioned that we leave that mundane body eventually. The inherent nature is the impermanence. But then that comes then when our consciousness enter into the pardo state or the intermediate state. If you plant positive in your mind, you have a great devotion and faith, respect to your teacher or Buddha, or any kind, like Buddha or Bodhisattva, enlightened any beings. You always think about those great beings, whether you're a teacher or Lama. So then, while you wandering into the pardo state or the intermediate state, your consciousness looking for the next entrance. Excuse me. At that time, you feel scary, all kinds of all in the part of teaching. All those are in detail in the part of teaching. At that time, then you remember your Lama. If you made some sort of a supplication, request, prayer to the Lama appears spontaneously right there, and make ease. Lama's appearance is going to ease the fear that you're having at the intermediate state or the pardo state. Where the fear went, because you already organize those qualities you cultivated into your mind, had it way ahead of the time. So that way, that's you're constantly reminding your teachings of your lamas. So it's not doing but just yourself. All the positive, great qualities you cultivated so far into your mind, that is helping you at that during that that cycle. Where you are in the pardo state or the intermediate state.
Tin te ke ta ngi ran tho ta sang ha ke chu do je te pa de nyam san yin pe ji kan sa ji na ti yang ta pa ta wa po de ta san chou sim ju la ji jo nim jong ke cho he ke lo ji ma ma yin pa ta da ro go song ya wo ri nim jong je lo ji te ta kho ba la nim jong je go ko yo ri kho ba de la ta hin po man do da ta pa man do tin pa man do da ta so ba ri da so ba chi ni da da so do sam ne lo de la go ko yo ri ti lo de la cho he ke thna ti tin thal li ke thal ka ngang ke tung ko yo ri ba la thal so ba ri si tung ko yo ri dang go ting lo de ma la na chu la sa hin je de la to ko yo ma ji ting de yo ba sa hin je ya ko je ma tham na tin chu dang ho kun do ba sang cho sam ti ma na dong dang ka sang cho sam to to ko ba dong dang sang cho sam to ma tham na ti yang ka ba ta yo ba de ba ke ta sang ha ka na yu je de la yang tak batawa san chou sen ngin jong ko lo ta te song la ko tang bo ngin jong la ma ti na san chou sen le ma to san chou sen ma la na yang tak batawa to ma to ta ngin jong le ta ta la ta lo do nan ki de chi go ko tam jo ni ka wa chi chen ma ta pa chi le jum de sin ko ni me chi te ya ko chi na ni ta ngin jong jo he de mo ko ngin jong jo he lom na ti chu ge wa la yo nga yu song ko tu ko yo le wa la.
So like we said, this the four thoughts which turns your mind into practice Dharma. It's turning your focus, mind focus, into practice Dharma, So this is like a foundation. If you understand thoroughly, then you are going to have this feeling that you're not going to focus, into unnecessary distractions where you distract for nothing. So you're going to change your mind focus into a virtuous deed, accumulate merit, benefit others, sentient beings, needies, and so forth. So then you also know at the same time, I should not waste, with the samsaric activities, the worldly activities, distractions, creating problems, all this harm, hate, and so forth. So these are all our distraction, samsaric, the cyclic existence activities. So you're not focusing onto that. So then, Ninjong, so then you so then you see you will see this samsara is samsara or the cyclic existence is essenceless. There's no essence at all. So then you feel you feel sad. So there's you see so you want to liberate, because the samsara, we talking about samsara's inherent nature is the suffering. Then nobody likes suffering. We all like to get out or try to run away from the suffering, right? We don't want it suffering, but we get it one way or the other, right? So like that. So then when we have that kind of focus, then we are not going to focus too much into the samsaric activities or the worldly activities. Then we are focusing more into a liberation state, which is the enlightenment state or the Buddhahood. Then once you get enlightened, you attain the Buddhahood, then you are suffering free, you can say. No more suffering. Revala. Tene khara la santa. Mani ko to chega.
Yeah.
Tene aba Kyoshi tene Ninjong
so ta ko wa tan do ko lo. Jo che de ko wa san ba jo. Tene san chou san u go la. Da san kha nya mi me da yang dai ko ta wa san chou san Ninjong jo che ti som de u go ko yuri. Sancho Sen Lodita, Yinping is about Ugorva, the Sancho Sen, the Gundo Sancho Sen, Tunda Sancho Sen, the new, the Dambo, Gundo Sancho Sen, the Lord Yugo Kuyuri. That is Kora Leper Sentin Tamki, Pama Maze, Baki Jamipa, the Pama Se, Betlana, Tension Boga Yang Yubashi, into the Tapa, Zondu with him. At the Sancho Sen.
So then, we need to develop that bodhicitta. This bodhicitta is a Sanskrit word. Bodhi is the enlightened and chit is the mind. You can say enlightened mind. Then what is the bodhicitta? How we are going to have that bodhicitta or the enlightened mind? The loving kindness, loving kind and compassion. Loving kindness and compassion. That genuine loving kindness and compassion we need to develop within ourselves. That's called the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta or bodhicitta. The altruistic enlightened mind. Then then we have that, then we have unconditional loving kindness and compassion to sentient beings, right? So that's quality. So that we need to develop within ourselves. Then as a Vajrayana practitioner, we consider ourselves, then loving kindness and compassion, which is the bodhicitta, that's very important. If we don't have a bodhicitta or the enlightened mind, then we cannot say or we cannot label ourselves as a Vajrayana practitioner. Whether he or she, whoever it is that consider themselves as a Vajrayana practitioner. Without the bodhicitta, you cannot call or say that. But, as a beginner, we need to develop that. It's not like right away you can get that instant realization. You cannot get that bodhicitta, but need to start from the scratch. Chanjogu same Ravala. But then I forgot one. Then when we reach the bodhi, when we talk about bodhicitta, then comes another two thing, that a relative bodhicitta and the ultimate bodhicitta. Ravala. So then first we have to have that the bodhicitta. Then we can say, then we can discuss, then we can develop that relative bodhicitta and the ultimate bodhicitta.
Yang tak betawa tu chutam ke tong sing da mi tak tong to bu khu de wala yang tak pa don ti tawa tu non therma so ba ko no ban therma me ba yang tak pa de yang je tu yang tak betawa se ko yang tak betawa tu ha do ra de chutam ke tong sing da mi ba de ma se gen tun je do ta ko rang ge chen ge ngo do ta tawa do chen ngo ha ko ko ba chen ngo de ha ko na Darang rang so zen tham che mata ba yin ban thwa yin ba tham che khu rang kho ka pha be de khu ha ko chu no khu de ba de chu ne ti khu chen ko ngo ne lok da ha ko de ta yang ta ta ba se khu de ba la de khu tie ju se ko ma song ni thur ma song ni de da re ke chen khu ne lok ngo tong ni de to go khu de ba la.
So then that way if we develop that perfect view, not contaminated view with contaminating with these afflictive emotions, deluded thought, conceptual thought, and so all that. So not contaminating and recognizing the true inherent nature of the mind. The nature of the mind says, or inherent nature of the mind, the true nature of the mind, whatever we call that. We need to recognize that. Basically, what it's saying is that true nature of mind is uncontaminated. It gets contaminated with our very own afflictive emotion and conceptual thoughts. So if we recognize or we have that realization of the perfect true nature of the mind, then we can say perfect realization, perfect realization or perfect view.
Yong yison chango zono jute dara telo pa ke naro pala pun sama tin chen dem jong te tun che ba mi pa ma to pa choni sing tan phang lo lan dara ma ji naro pa song du jute churang ke ta ho tun che ba mi pa ta yang ta ko ta ba tun che ba mi tun te ma to pa to chu ke cho ni po mi ke su na ka cho ta mi ke cho ni po te sa ko khu ri de lan dar lo de ma ri song ja wo de wala mi ke do ni ta ra dan ba som do jute cho ni do dong da zhe ba de然后有把身体当把啦，用话当把的，没接触那个错的哩。但是他家进步做把从我嘛就打多我做没明当把做那个，我明明一些个错的哩的哩。可当把什么的呢？错你的呢？错你为的，但是有把身体当把啦，用话当把的呢，没接触那个错难做可以哩，有明明当把的，明明一些个错难做可以哩。
So so it's then comes to that we already discussed the relative bodhicitta, ultimate bodhicitta. Then it comes to that accumulation of wisdom and the accumulation of the primordial wisdom. Like the very beginning, we mentioned that the three quality we need to develop. First the simkit, mujimingmi, yongwa. So first the altruistic enlightened mind, and then no visualization, and the third one is the dedication. So the the altruistic enlightenment or the bodhicitta goes with the dedication. The no visualization is, the middle one. The second one is that we discuss about the like Mahamudra, Dzogchen, Madhyamika and so forth. So that this two, that bodhicitta and the dedication goes with the accumulation of the merit. And the second one, that the no visualization associated with those great teachings is the primordial wisdom. Is it clear? Huh? So we are dividing now. So let's say this accumulation of merit and the accumulation of the primordial wisdom. Where originated, where it came from, you can say, for simple English, yeah? So that the bodhicitta and the dedication, that the three qualities, the three perfect qualities we mentioned in the very beginning, originated based on bodhicitta and dedication. That's called the accumulation of the merit. And then the second one, we talk about no visualization. Without visualization or no visualization, you can say like having a complete, perfect realization of Mahamudra, Dzogchen, Madhyamika and so forth. But that's the primordial wisdom. So then, then you can categorize the accumulation of merit, accumulation of primordial wisdom. Clear? Okay. So this is just a brief discussion about the four thoughts. So we are going to go more deeper when we next couple of days